This is Revolver. And reviewing the new releases this week, Gary Kemp.
Bird of prey.
Hi, this is Gary Kemp from Spandau Ballet.
Bird of prey.
And I'm this week's guest reviewer on Revolver.
Flying high.
I've been asked to sit in on this Revolver and review some of the new releases. First one today is Fatboy Slim, and this is Bird of Prey.
Bird of prey. Bird of prey. In the summer sky, flying high, flying high, flying high. Take me on your flight, flying high.
That was Fatboy Slim and Sunset, Bird of Prey, the new single from a new album, Halfway Between the Gutter and the Stars. Nice version of the Oscar Wilde quote. I'm not so sure about this track, actually. I was a big fan of You've Come a Long Way, Baby, especially my son, who used to sing Funk Soul Brother all the time. I thought there was a lot more commercial stuff on that album, and that single was also very, very commercial. But maybe it's just the Jim Morrison vocals. I was never a Doors fan. Found that Jim Morrison's vocals just a little bit too depressing, and there is an element of some sort of downbeat quality to this track that I'm not crazy about, but all these things may grow on me. This is only my first time.
Yeah. That's how it is. Yeah. It's just what time is.
Jeb Lloyd Nichols comes from Jamaica, and when I first put this record on, I thought this was going to be extraordinary. I really liked it. I liked the groove of it. Sort of laid back, nice samples and loose vocals. Beautiful voice he has. But the chorus came and I was a bit disappointed. You got someone like Tom Tom Club doing it with all of that sort of irony, tongue-in-cheek. It could have worked, but he seems a little serious about it. It's called Heaven Right Here.
I got penny change in my pocket. I got heaven on my mind. Got a gravel road. I got 20 miles. Gonna spend a little time. For the ways of the world seem to frustrate. Always stealing food off of the next plate. Only hate is our fate and it's too late. All we get is a crumb from the big cake. So I'll stop, slow down, watch the sun go down. Come on over to my yard. Sit around. Troubles all disappear. Come on over to my yard. 'Cause right now heaven's right here. Blessed is the man and woman that stand firm and endure. It was bright and sunny in the morning. Afternoon the clouds gave chase. I don't wanna take my place in the rat race. As for love, there's no trace on their face, and it chills me right down to my backbone. And it's lonesome so far from home. When the world that they made starts to fall down, I'll be here, so why don't you come around? slow down, watch the sun go down. I'll just take my time, I'm gonna relax my mind. Come on over to my yard, sit around and let your troubles all disappear. Come on over to my yard, 'cause right now heaven's right here. Yes, it is.
You see, I think he got the wrong title on that track. I think he should have called it Come On Over to My Yard, because that's the bit that sticks out for me. And because he's putting the emphasis on heaven right here, the weight of it is in the wrong place, speaking as a songwriter. I worry that the chorus gets a bit Eurovision Song Contest, but I think it's a record that's certainly going to grow on people. It might cross over, and it wouldn't surprise me if it's a huge hit.
So come along right now, heaven's right here. Yes, it is. Come on over to my.
Now, didn't Nick Hornby in High Fidelity compare Green Day to Stiff Little Fingers? Well, if you can remember Stiff Little Fingers, a very rude Irish punk group from the mid-70s. It seems to me that it's taken nearly 20 years for America to sort of accept punk and clean it up and make it very middle class, until smart boys from Berkeley, California can make records that sell 20 million copies and even then call it minority.
I wanna be the minority. I don't need your authority. Down with the moral majority, 'cause I wanna be the minority. I pledge allegiance to the underworld, one nation under dark, care of which I stand alone. A beast in the crowd, a song against the mold. Without a doubt, singled out the only way I do, 'cause I wanna be the minority. I don't need your authority. Down with the moral majority, 'cause I wanna be the minority. Stepped out of the line, like a ship runs from the hood, marching out of time to my open now. The only way I know, one light, one mind, flashing in the dark, blinded by the silence of 1,000 broken hearts. For crying out loud, she screamed under me, afraid for all. Come on, you are your side, 'cause I wanna be the minority. I don't need your authority. Down with the moral majority, 'cause I wanna be the minority.
That was Minority from Green Day. Yeah, I mean, it's funny, it's kind of... We sort of took punk seriously in 1976, but now there seems to be a kind of cartoon version of it that's very popular in America, and obviously is doing really well. It doesn't get to my heart, but 20 million people say otherwise. I guess I'm not part of whatever's going on in that scene, and I suppose you have to be a disaffected, white, suburban American youth to really understand this music, and seeing that I'm none of those, I guess I'm not going to give a very fair verdict on this track, but I'm sure some people like it. R&B is a word that interests me. I don't understand this new term R&B. See, to me, R&B certainly in the 70s and 80s meant white guys playing a kind of rock blues. Now, a band like Top Loader, that's R&B. And the music that's called R&B now, that used to be called soul. And yet, black artists who call themselves R&B would never call themselves rhythm and blues. So I'm a bit confused about all the definitions. But nevertheless, it seems to me that R&B now means having the acoustic guitar sound playing arpeggios. Da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-dum. We hear it all the time. And this is another example And this is such a TLC rip-off that for me there's nothing original about this track. And probably this is about as far, hopefully, as those guitar samples is going to go. And this is Jamelia and Boy Next Door.
The boy next door, never, ever in a million years was this what I was thinking of. Crazy, somehow it never crossed my mind. My first friend becoming my first love. Used to be the one who used to be. Never would have thought of you as a boyfriend. If you had asked what I was looking for, would have said someone like the boy next door. Growing up, if you had ever told me you'd be the one I'd be wanting to hold me, I would have laughed and said you were crazy and never be with the boy next door. Told you, showed you everything in my life. When we go cruising in your ride, so why was I taken by surprise? Found love growing in my own backyard. Played hide and seek in the summer heat, didn't wanna go inside. I wanna hang out until sunrise. Whenever I was down, never had a doubt that you'd be in my life. Whenever anyone saw me, they saw you too. Whoa.
Not the most original R&B record I've ever heard.
Would have thought of you as a boyfriend.
I think I'm a bit worried about the proliferation of these R&B singers, but the best will rise to the top. There's a lot of people who always want to cash in on any new sound that's around. This is one of them. And obviously with the videos being so important these days, a pair of batty riders didn't do anyone any harm. I guess it's going to keep selling.
Never would have thought of you as a boyfriend. If you had asked what I was looking for, I would have said someone like the boy next door. Growing up, you had ever shown.
Now, new album from the Waterboys. I'm a big fan of Mike Scott. I loved Bring 'Em All In. I thought it was a wonderful solo album. He's such a great artist, a great lyricist. He's certainly not commercial. He moves the heart of a lot of people. This album, the 3 tracks that I've heard so far, I think are very exciting, very deep. He's sounding more like Fergal Sharkey these days than he ever did. This is We Are Jonah.
And the well-known fox stepped up to make his speech. His ship was on the rocks and rescue out of reach. Spotlit he stood, said what he thought he should. Half the crowd did laugh, though there was no joke. And soon the other half were swallowed up in smoke. A robber on the wing could be heard to sing.
It's been a pleasure being on the show, presenting 5 of the new releases. Thanks for having me on, and enjoy your day.
Summit did not crash. From it emerged a man in trainers and mustache. Down he laid his load upon the hated road. Then the road did part and the tar did melt. He loosened up his heart, he tightened up his belt like a piece of string. Then he began to sing like a pearly king. Grandma, we are Jonah, rolling along sun had set, Montgomery placed his bet. Then the whale did yawn and fell asleep in fort. From dusk till dawn, you should have heard him snore. From Tierra del Fuego to the Alaskan snows, there she flies. Grandma, we are Jonah, crawling along in the teeth of the whale. My dear old grandma, we are Jonah, rolling along in the teeth of the whale. Grandma. We are Jonah, rolling along in the teeth of the whale.